The NFL playoffs are on EA Sports, and we've got a packed house here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, we've got an ultra-important divisional round matchup in the NFC, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Of the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. At their own 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
This is 2nd and 8.
Set. 19, go.
Here's Penix. And this will be caught by Mooney. An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
Robinson will try to pick it up. Fights him off. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
When you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
16 more
yards. 100
yards.
catches in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch in these playoffs.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
18, right here.
Looking to throw, Penix. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10.
70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. Set. Warriors, 18 Cardinal, 18.
Operating from the gun, Penix. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
A gain of 16 yards.
The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of the best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. Throw left side, there's London. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Penix working out of the gun here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sign of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. but instead that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Come on, set! Bronco 80!
They'll go for it. Here's Penix. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kyle Pitts from 4 yards out. And the Falcons are on the board first here in this division round matchup.
For the point after.
Zerline going to the PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game.
7, Lions nothing. Greg Zerline set
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
I don't care what game it is. Everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively, pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Jalen Walker just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Lions.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
180! What's that?
Quick toss by Goff is complete. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Now a give to Gibbs running left. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
That's another Detroit.
Hold on.
First down
And
at
moves
the
right.
30-yard line.
Now Goff. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
2nd and 10.
Tiger! What? 5. What's that?
Now it's gone. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Troy Anderson. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
At the 28-yard line.
Dragon 60. 60.
And looking to throw, Penix. And connecting here with DJ Sharp. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
To the air, Penix. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
Now Penix. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Go street. 18. Cowboy 80. Put your hands on him.
They'll try to throw again. Here's Penix. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned teams down 10. They've got to contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Picked off by Xavier Watts. And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Looking to put a drive together.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Ready, set.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. They'll throw with Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. 19 tight, 19 tight. Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Penix. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1.
And a key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. And this one's incomplete. Rick Rendon, the intended receiver there. And now it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Let's go now. Ready, ready.
To throw again is Penix. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On third down, Penix from the gun. Short throw caught by Pitts. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on third down. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this first and goal.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
I know it was a game, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty. Bijan Robinson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons are able to widen their advantage. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment that allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The Lions take over first and 10.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor, maybe break the ice a little bit? Like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey already? Not the one that you're throwing into? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Goff now looking to throw. Finds Gibbs on a check down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly blocked down. Nice little gain. 3rd and 5. Third Goff. Over the middle, he's got to Slaw. And he is going to have a Lions first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you're doing like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
There's Goff. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll show the defense.
At the 48-yard line.
180. We're good.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd down and 3. Another run for Gibbs here. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Down at the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 1.
Here's Goff. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
2 for 1. We go. Line 20.
Play action. It's Goff. And that is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone is in a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked it down to force a 4th down?
2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. Goff and his guys not coming off the field. They're going for this.
180. Whoa.
Back to throw again. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Now Pennett's going to hold on to it. And he'll slide to the home here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Ready.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta.
We both know it's difficult, but they made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they moved the ball with relative ease.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half. From the 5, 2nd and 4.
19 Lion. 18 Pioneer. Hawk 70. Ready.
Looking to throw Penix. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown. Kyle Pitts in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Falcons continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. So line connects on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this 1st half.
Greg Zerline set to
So
kick off.
not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Lions take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Greg Zerline set to kick
A
off.
trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
A 3-yard pickup. And it's third down.
That's to the tight end, Laporta. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on third down. Even better decision.
After the run, Goff going to throw. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. To throw is Goff. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked up by Jamin Davis. And the Falcons will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there. And there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's second and a yard. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Go! I got you, baby. I got you. I got you. 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. Now he's into the clear again. Kyle Pitts. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kyle Pitts saving his best for the playoffs with his third And the Falcons have opened the lead up to 30. Now Zerline on and the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Falcons 31, Lions nothing.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunate for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Throwing on second and long. Goff. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And he takes this one back into the end zone. The Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They cannot put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is, don't quit competing.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, 78 yards. And the Lions are able to claw one back. Point after, right down the middle. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. Good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. Whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
The Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or two. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out.
18, Rattler. Hawk 70, Hawk 7, 18, Pioneer. Check go.
Here's Penix. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Drake London, 31 yards. And the Falcons get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
His kick
Zerline good with a PAT.
makes
And the lead
score
grows even
Falcons
larger here in the third quarter.
Lions 7. Greg Zerline set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Lions take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. Here's third down and 4.
A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up that third
They'll
down.
fake the handoff. Now oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at it that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another fourth down.
Ric Flair. Black 20. Go. Hey, kill.
They go ahead and snap it. Gone. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
That was a heck of a play right there because there is no chance that he was the primary receiver on that play. Definitely checked it down to him and just said, please, help us out, make a play. And he does and delivers a first down.
Williams brings it in. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 36 yards on the play.
That's another Detroit Lions first down. First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he takes this one again for the Lions. Touchdown. Jamison Williams. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Point after here coming up. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
45. Lions 14.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he'll work down inside the 45.
The
This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense in with a big play.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Ready? Ready, ready.
On third down, Robinson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 57 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, you really know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
35-yard line.
Again, it's Robinson. And he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's about it. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Greg Zuerlein on for the field goal. A 51-yard
Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Ball on the 36 now. Here's a second down and 9. Straight ahead with Woods here. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now it's gone. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Working the middle of the field, and he's got the man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And he'll send the tight end in motion here. That's complete to Laporta. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 23.
14 yards.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down.
Motion. White 20. What's that?
Throwing again is gone. And it's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Touchdown, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
The kick is
Extra
good.
point splits the uprights.
The score,
And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. And they're going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages. Zerline now for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Falcons 55. Lions 21. Greg Zerline set to kick
So
off.
let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
That'll be caught by St. Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
16 yards.
First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's got the first down. Well, he was dynamite in the wild card game last week. He hasn't disappointed in this game either.
A gain of 15. And the Lions first down.
Now gone. Now he's going to shoot. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. James Pierce. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
It's second down.
Now then after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for second and 23. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. But after this one's done, you just feel like in the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Gone. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to bring up the fourth down. The Falcons are moving on. Congratulations to them. Thanks for watching, and so long, everybody. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more